In the 8th century BCE, somewhere along the coastline of ancient Greece, there lived a poet whose words would echo through 3,000 years of human history. His name was Homeros.
Look over there.
Oh! It's Homer, the master storyteller of the city!
The one-eyed Cyclops blinded after injuring his eye.
And the story he told, a story of war, wandering, and the desperate journey home, would become one of civilization's most enduring tales. But who was Homeros? Was he even real? And why does his epic poem, the Odyssea, still speak to us today? Let's begin with an uncomfortable truth. We know almost nothing certain about Homeros. Was he a single genius or a name that combines many different poets? Did he live in Ionia or on the island of Chios? Was he truly unable to see, as later Greeks believed? Today, most scholars believe these epics were formed sometime between 750 and 650 BCE in the Ionian region. He was a master of oral tradition, weaving together stories that had been sung for generations.
Then the belly of the Trojan horse opened, dozens of Greek down on it.
Think of Homeros not as a writer hunched over a desk, but as a performer. A master storyteller who could perform thousands of lines from memory, accompanying himself on the lyre. His poems weren't read silently from a page. They were sung, chanted, performed at festivals and feasts, bringing heroes and gods to life through voice and gesture.
Sing to me, muse, of that man of many ways who wandered far and wide.
Those gathered are instantly captivated by his song. For a long time, they will now live inside the story he weaves.
He would lift his head high, thinking himself the king of the entire valley. But in the end, a humble heart always finds a way.
But here we must ask, how does he guide this vast narrative? How could one person remember 15,000 lines of poetry in an age before writing? The answer lies within the very words he speaks. Listen once more to his song.
Rosy-fingered dawn, wine-dark sea, swift-footed Achilles.
Did you hear? These phrases are not mere ornaments. They are the building blocks of the story and the memory tools etched into the poet's mind. For oral poets, a phrase like rosy-fingered dawn was not just a collection of words, but a single functional unit signifying dawn. Homeros assembled this vocabulary of the epic in rhythm, constructing vast narratives in real time. And here's what matters most. Whether Homeros was one genius or many, he, or they, understood something profound about human nature, about longing and loss, about the meaning of home, about who we become when we're tested by impossible choices. Homeros left the world two monumental epics, the Iliad and the Odyssea. They are two sides of the same coin, yet they ask very different questions. The Iliad explores the maximum potential of human existence in the extreme situation of war, showing how close a man can come to a god and at the same time how near he can fall to a beast. Achilles stands at the very center of it. In contrast, the Odyssea is a story of what happens after the smoke of war and the heroes of myth have disappeared. It asks the question, in a world where gods and heroes are gone, how should a human recover their humanity and find the way back to life? To truly understand Odysseus' journey, we must first look at the grand stage that holds both epics together, the Trojan War. This 10-year conflict was not just a battle of spears and shields, but a crucible that tested the very limits of human endurance. The Greeks tell us it began with a choice made by Paris, a prince of Troy, who stole Helen from her husband, King Menelaus of Sparta. To avenge this insult, 1,000 ships sailed for Troy, carrying the greatest heroes of the age: Achilles the Invincible, Ajax the Giant, and Agamemnon the High King. Among them was Odysseus, king of Ithaca. But unlike the others, Odysseus was renowned not for his brute strength, but for his metis, a brilliant, practical, and sometimes cunning intelligence. For 10 long years, the war ground on. The walls of Troy seemed impregnable, and the war seemed endless, until Odysseus conceived a plan so audacious that it would change history.
What if we don't break the wall? What if we make them open the gates themselves? We will give them a victory they didn't earn, and a gift they cannot resist.
It was the wooden horse. The war was over. Odysseus, the architect of victory, could finally go home. Or so he thought. Look at this map. From Troy to Ithaca. This journey should have taken 2 weeks, 3 at most. Yet this is the path he actually took. That short distance ended up taking 10 long years. Why? Because the Odyssea is not just a travelogue, it is a map of the trials that test the human soul. Odysseus must face monsters like the Cyclops, seductive goddesses like Circe and Calypso, and even venture into the realm of the dead to seek guidance. He will lose his ships, his men, and even his very identity, arriving home as a beggar. Through these sufferings, he moves from the pride of a warrior to the wisdom of a king. Let me introduce you to the characters of this great epic, the Odyssea. Odysseus, king of Ithaca and veteran of Troy, renowned for his intelligence and eloquence. He is a man who must lose everything and endure great suffering to find his way back home. Poseidon, god of the sea and the earth shaker, who becomes the implacable enemy of Odysseus. After his son is blinded, he turns the waves into a living hell to block the path of return. Polyphemus, the lawless, one-eyed giant and son of Poseidon. Aeolus, the keeper of the winds. Circe, the sorceress who rules with magic, surrounded by lions and wolves. Tiresias, the blind seer of the underworld who sees the future. The sirens, the enchantresses of the sea who lure sailors to their doom with heavenly voices. Calypso, the goddess who kept Odysseus prisoner on the island of Ogygia for 7 years. Penelope, the faithful queen of Ithaca who waits 20 years for the return of Odysseus. Telemachus, the son who embarks on his own journey to find his father and fights by his side to reclaim their home.
It is these very ones who will draw the map of the long voyage across that wine-dark sea. You might wonder, why does a 2,800-year-old poem still matter? Everything, actually. Because the Odyssea isn't really about monsters and gods. It's about the universal human experience of trying to find your way home. Whether home is a place, a person,
I have returned.
a former version of yourself, or simply a sense of belonging. We live in an age where GPS can tell us exactly where we are at any moment, where we can video chat with anyone, anywhere on Earth. We have conquered distance in ways Odysseus couldn't imagine, but we still struggle with the same fundamental questions. Who am I? Where do I belong? What's worth fighting for? How do I get back to who I'm supposed to be? Homeros understood that the most important journeys are not measured in miles, but in the growth and wisdom earned through suffering. Home, in the Odyssea, is the restoration of one's soul and family. For now, remember this. The Odyssea isn't just a story. It is a map of the human soul. And that the journey to become who we're meant to be often begins the moment we stop waiting and start moving. From our next session, something extraordinary will happen. We won't just know about Homeros, we'll meet him. Picture a noble's estate in ancient Greece. Torches burning, wine flowing. The greatest poet of all time has been invited to perform. And he will tell you the story that has captivated humanity for 3,000 years. Join us for the great homecoming of Odysseus, told by Homeros himself.